Hello, fabulous Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2014, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. I do think that most of the love-oriented activity, if you will, the most important things that are going to take place for you where it comes to love are going to be happening for you late in the month. And that is mainly because we have got your ruling planet, which also happens to be the goddess of love, Venus, standing across the sky from Pluto, as she does about once every year or so. And Venus will also be communicating with, right around the same time, communicating with Uranus. And I look at the fact that this particular conversation is taking place in a part of the sky, or Venus will be in a part of the sky, that has to do with the spontaneous interaction, which has to do with conversations and communications as well. And I have to say the chance of you sort of having an interaction that comes on sort of out of the blue, and whether that interaction happens in person, which is very strongly possible, or whether that interaction happens on another level, on a level of communication, whether online, email, text message, I am going to sort of warn you a little bit, because there is an element here of you feeling, and I got to say this, because I think for some of you out there, you have to really watch your own reactions and your own interpretations as well, because ultimately what is coming through is going to be the truth. However, the truth is also really relative. It's about how you choose to interpret that truth and what you believe it's going to mean for you now and into the future. But regardless, I gotta say, I mean, I am seeing you getting some sort of message that certainly causes a reaction, a physical reaction, sort of like, you know, when you read something sometimes and all of a sudden you get a message and your stomach just flips, or you have butterflies, if you will, but there's that feeling you get when you know that you're reading something that's important, or you're reading something very consequential. And especially if you're not sure how it is that it's supposed to be interpreted. Now, I would encourage you to, first and foremost, think about where you are in love and how it is that this moment ultimately is leading you to understand what is true for you. Because that's really what's taking place here. This is very much a proverbial moment of truth taking place for you that is rooted in communication and conversation. And it is, I do think, there's an element here that indicates that it would be long overdue. And especially when we've got Pluto standing across from the sky, there is that element that this has been coming on for a while. And this is a conversation that needs to happen, even if it's difficult and even if it really gets your emotions running. And for some of you, it may get some emotions running that don't feel so comfortable. However, if you can remember that ultimately this energy is trying to be intellectual for you, this energy is trying to raise itself for you so that ultimately you can see where you are in love, evaluate and decide on your direction, decide on where changes need to happen. But I do think that this represents an important moment, and for some, an important turning point, if you will, where you decide or realize how much this person actually fits in with a higher vision of your life, or where they don't, or if where you are right now in love fits into a higher vision, or if it doesn't. So there are some of you out there, I do think if you're in an established bond, this really comes to the forefront, this idea of things that have not been said that need to be said right now. There's an element here, I gotta say, because this is Pluto involved, sometimes there is an element here of something coming out or coming to the surface. As I said, it's a moment of truth, but I think it's something that you've kind of known already. It's been, the feelings have been there, but maybe haven't been so fully acknowledged. And so this is going to be a chance to allow that to happen. If you've had somebody in your sphere, or you have somebody in your sphere, also, this is about truth coming to the surface. Does this person actually see you as part of the future? Do you see this person as part of your future? The late part of the month is really a moment to get very honest with yourself, with each other, as to where you actually see this going, if anywhere at all. And if it isn't, then you'll have the bravery and the understanding, at least, to decide what it is you're going to do next. And for those of you who are not in an established bond, I mean, I look at this and I say, you know, at least expect or be prepared for an important interaction that sort of sets off some very valuable understanding in yourself as to where you are in love right now and why and where it is and what needs to happen if you're going to experience change, if you are really going to experience the type of love that you desire. What is it that needs to shift within you? Where it is that action needs to be taken on your part to help yourself make that happen. One thing is for sure, though, with this month is that there is a lot of honesty in the air, and there is a lot of undeniable truth in the air as well. And if you can embrace that possibility that ultimately the truth is trying to not only set you free, but the truth is trying to move you towards greater love than you've known before, then you will very quickly find evidence for that to be true. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.